Hey my friends, and it's a Hot Mess Express. So I'm going to try and keep this short-ish and tell you about my plans for summer school. Year-round summer school. Okay, so we finished up the year and I have so many ideas and I have videos I need to cut, and it's kind of getting to one of those points. If I don't just make a video, I'm not going to get to making a video again. I just got done 9,000 steps this morning. I am trying to get back on it. I am still coughing, but not as bad. But of course I have to cough because I said coughing. Not as bad. It's getting better. I ended up with strep on top of it. So it's just been a hot mess. And then being sick, my glasses keep fogging up. Being sick has really encouraged the weight gain. And I'm sure it's like the 2 rounds of steroids that has not helped. But I found if I don't eat any wheat, it helps a lot. So here's the deal. I decided we're year-round schooling. We have finished the CC and all of the layouts that CC has done. I just have to do a video on that. We're not continuing with CC. It was a great way to train and learn, but I have to just realize I'm a nonconformist and I like to do things my way more than anything. But I learned a lot of valuable things. So coming into the summer, do you hear all those noises? Those are chicks, and the rooster being like mean to the chicks because they're in his place. Yes. Anyway, I came to the realization that I wanted to focus on key things this summer and kind of keep it limited and really plan out what weeks we're doing school and what weeks we're not. So I came up with 9 weeks starting last Monday on the 29th of April. Even though May 1st is like the beginning of my new year. So we don't use summer as catch up. We do summer as prep work for the following year, not catch up. Because I just want to start fresh. I want a fresh start. So May 1st is the beginning of our new school year. So that means my daughter's a high schooler. Yes, so she's a high schooler in my book. So we're doing a lot of prep work this summer. And I'm trying to keep it to 9 weeks. I'm not trying. I will keep it to 9 weeks. So I have 9 weeks marked from the last week, the first week where May is in. And I believe we're done the second or third week of July. Second or third week of July. So there's a couple weeks in there that we won't do school. So it's like, I think between the 3rd and the 4th week, there's a week in there we don't do school. And I think the 4th and the 5th week, we don't do school. And a couple more in there. So it's not like really a heavy duty. And I'm keeping it simple. And I'm going to show you the simple. And I'm going to tell you like how this is different from when we go into next year. So we're still doing math because we don't ever stop doing math. I feel like in some ways my kids are behind in math. And we use Saxon math. And we just keep doing math. Math is just a given. We just do math. Now, granted, I'm only really scheduling 4 days a week worth of work. I'm not trying to be strenuous by any means. And if they haven't finished it by Friday, they need to get it done Friday. So we do our math. And then we're focusing on our language arts. Because one of the things we really came to realize in our language, in doing CC, was just, I haven't spent a lot of time in grammar. I haven't spent a lot of time with spelling and handwriting. So I wanted to really spend that time in there, and I've kind of expanded that just a little bit, but I'm trying not to like go crazy. My girl Erin will be like, you're always like crazy, I don't know if you do that, but I tend to get so excited about the upcoming year, what I want to do. I tend to overload my kids. So I'm trying not to. So we decided to go with spelling. And I brought it here. I'm not reviewing it by any means. I'll have to review it at the end of the summer. But what I decided to do was the IEW phonetic spelling. I've done a lot of spelling workbooks. I've done a lot of spelling strategies. It's either exhausting for me or it's mentally exhausting for the kids. And remember, we're ADHD, so there's some flukes that we just can't handle. So I decided to do the IEW phonetic zoo. I bought level A and level B. I'll do a full review on it. So I keep it right here. And they have a little like 3-prong folder that they keep the there's one page that you just make a bunch of copies. And essentially what they do is they take a test every day. I'm not going to get completely into it, but it's all audio. This is kind of the heart of it, the set of cards. And they learn the rules for list 1. And if they're in level A, they have to master these spelling words. And if you're level B, you start here. So everybody starts in lesson 1, and then they go through. And when you're done with A, you go to B. And then you go to C, and you're done. So how is that different? It's all on audio. They check it themselves. And if they make 100%, they go to the next lesson. If not, the next day, they do it again. And it's maintaining that long-term memory. This is working out wonderfully. My kids are loving this. And they're moving along at their own speed, which is phenomenal. So the next one I did was handwriting. I find that I really like the Abeka font. I bought the Abeka font that I can make my own tracing papers, but we needed more work on forming our letters. Yes, like that. And me being very mindful, like, you're going to do it again. You're going to do it again. Abeka is crazy expensive for a workbook. $20 for a handwriting book. So I bought the one that's not bound, and I stuck it in page protectors. So their job is with the wet erase, they can do it. So it would be otherwise $60. So this way they use this. And they're just doing 1 page a day. I honestly don't think, let me flip to it. There's a section I'm not going to keep going. I like the ability to trace. I feel like there's a lot of value in it, but by the time you hit like lesson 70, it's not as much tracing anymore. And we will probably only use the first 70, and then after that I will make my own papers for them to do. So with that said, I'd rather them use a dry erase marker and use the page protector than to spend $60 for the first 70 lessons of the Abeka handwriting. Okay, so they're doing math, they're doing spelling, they're doing handwriting. Reading was a big one. I have been going through my collection and expanding my library for these little tiny readers. Now, my main objective with that is my son, who's going into 8th grade, and my daughter going into 6th grade. They're not avid readers. Katie, I don't even have to begin. She's the one going in 9th grade. I don't even have to begin to assign her books. She just reads to read to read to read to read. So I've stopped assigning her books. She's always more than happy if I can come up with books to read for her, to give them to her, or give her a new author. So I just finished Pride and Prejudice, which was a stretch for me. I'm just not gonna lie, it was a stretch for me. It's not something I ever read. I had to and I listened to it, and I was reading it along with the Kindle, and I had to read it. I had to go back over and start over a couple times because I couldn't figure out who everybody was. So I ended up doing that, and then I pulled up a character list so I can mentally keep track of who was who. But that was a phenomenal read. I really enjoyed it, and so I'd been talking about it. So then she's like, I have to read this book. So now she's reading that book. She'll probably do a lot easier than I did, honestly, because I think she's a much better reader than me. But that's besides the fact. That's my 9th grader. So I have these like little books, and I know that they're probably rated, yeah, like this is a 3rd grade reading level, because it says so right there. But they're ages 6 to 10. So I'm doing it below, and as you'll see, there's some pictures. It's not, but they can read these in a day. So one of the things I've been working on with all of my kids is pulling books that they can read in one day. After a few weeks, I plan to give them like 3 books that they can read in a day, and 1 book that would take 2 days. So what I do is I've been setting out a stack of books for the week, and they have to get those books read for the week. As simple as that. And then I pick a new stack, which is nice. It keeps me circulating through things. Okay. So then the last thing, I took time to bring this to them, was we need to grow our grammar. And I have plans for next year how we're going to do a lot of layering with our grammar and our language arts. So our spelling, not really our spelling, but our writing and our grammar. We're really going to emphasize in that a lot. Katie did her speech. I think I told you that she came in second. We went in the districts and she was against 11th graders. And I really put that all on all of our past 4-H work that we've done. And then we looked at a speech and debate. Okay, so anyways, let me get to the point. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I went ahead and I purchased this. I looked a little bit at it at the beginning of the year. I didn't have the time to focus and see if it would be warranted. And now I'm using it. There's a lot of catching up we needed. There were some parts that we were slow on, and I will do a full review on that and how we're working it. So this is for my 6th grader. You're going to see she's in level 3. I don't think she's going to be in level 3 for very long, not a full year by any means, but she's in level 3 and I'm working with it, and it's really helping to isolate times we need to work with speech and some phonetic review that we needed, but the grammar part she has. So we're going to probably whip through this and she'll be in level 4. So I got a minute and I got to go. So how is this different from our regular year? Well, our regular year is going to be much different from any year we've ever had. Thank you for the training ground that we got through CC. Next year, when we start up in the year, we will be adding on to this by adding memory work that we did in cycle orientations. We're going to be using the good and the beautiful history as of now. And let me just say, as of now, we will be doing elemental science through a bigger expansion of science that kind of corresponds with our memory work. We'll be doing some good and the beautiful science. We'll be adding in IEW writing, even though there's writing in this, but we'll be doing group writing. We'll be doing group grammar. We'll be doing group Latin and group logic. So anyways, that's how it is. I'll talk to you later. I've really got to go. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. I love you, and let me know if you got any questions.